Well, good morning, everybody, from out here in Valencia in our new little house. And I'll wait for some people to come on. But just to kind of get things rolling here, I just did a little segment one, I think, or no, two segments for Baby May's next video, which is her gardening outside here in our new little abode. And while she was out there, I asked our landlord who lives next door about having someone come out and cut the grass with a weed whacker. And so we got that coming along. He's going to come out on Sunday, I believe. And we'll be videotaping that. It's going to be kind of interesting because I don't understand how this grass grows out there. But while we were out there, they pointed out two different plants. There's this plant and there's this plant, kind of like weeds growing out in the yard. And I can't remember which one's which, but one of them is for dengue fever and the other one is for regular old fever. So what you do is you take each one of these plants, depending on what you might have, which condition it might be, and you boil it for 15 minutes, let it cool down, and then you drink the tea. So that's kind of the cool thing is May's out there right now. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:19 in the morning on a Wednesday. And May is in hog heaven outside raking and digging and planting and singing and all that. The bad news is we have gone back to lockdown, ECQ, which is the most severe form of quarantine. So yesterday I was with every other swinging dick in town over at Hypermart loading up on stuff. And I had about 2 hours of notice that this was even happening. May and I were out and about somewhere yesterday, just doing our usual stuff. And we stopped in for a nice refreshing beverage somewhere. And we bumped into a friend of mine and he pulled up his phone and said, "Hey, check this out, bro." And he says, and it was real late notice. He says, nobody over 65 can go out. Nobody under 18 can go out. I don't know exactly how strict and tight it's going to be this time around. So later on today, maybe tomorrow, see what the day brings. We'll get on the gay looking little scooter and we'll go scooting around and see what we can get away with. And I want to check it out because one article says one thing and another article says another thing. And one thing I think the guys that live out here will agree with me about is that each little province, city, town has its own, it's like a little fiefdom. You know, they have their own mayors and the mayors can set a rule here in Dumaguete. And the guy over in Chateau, where May's from, could have a whole different outlook on the whole thing. And so there's really a lack of consistency. And guys are just confused as hell because I met another guy that wants to go to Cebu and he can't figure it out. Can he get into Cebu without a swab test? He doesn't want to come back to Dumaguete. He's going back to Australia. And but he can't get the information. So I think he's going to head down to talk to the tourist police. So you got May doing the garden. We're here 2 weeks now in our house and like it. And I'm going to go over some of the little quirks that I didn't know about when I first moved in that we've discovered. Nothing major, no deal breakers. But I guess the big news right now for us is that the COVID cases have jumped up to over 1,000 and here on Negros Oriental and or just the entire island. That would include Negros Occidental. And so travel's being restricted. Restaurants, I imagine, are being shuttered. I don't know that for a fact. Again, one article said they can be at 50% capacity. Another article said they can't. So we go to all these official or semi-official websites and we get conflicting messages. They may not actually be conflicting. They just may be evolving, if that makes any sense. In other words, at 10 o'clock in the morning, they're figuring 50% is okay. And then by noon, they've changed their mind. And I'm going to ramble for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and go into comments. But I met the guy when we were at Hypermart. We stocked up with a month's worth of food. We learned our lesson last time. I met the guy here. He introduced himself to me. I didn't know his name. I still don't know his name. But he lived here. He was the previous tenant here in my house. And he's a diver. He likes to scuba dive. And so he moved to the other side of the island. But he told me about some upgrades that he had made to this place. And he kind of filled me in on what's going on in the neighborhood. And he loved the landlord, just like I really like our landlord. But he informed me she won't do nothing that costs money. He installed the air conditioner in our bedroom. I didn't know that. He did the rock roadway coming in, if you will, driveway coming in. And he did some concrete work so that the entry was a little bit easier. So I told him, thanks a lot. And the guy before him got his ass kicked, some British guy, because he got mouthy with a bunch of people. And jungle justice at its finest. So, you cross the line here. That's what happens. So anyway, I'm going to go up. Oh, one more thing. We got a bunch of tie-dye T-shirts in a Balikbayan box from my friend Goldfinger, and we've been handing those out to the locals left and right. And we gave a couple, 3 away to some of my friends. They wanted them, or I wanted them to have them. I just offered them as a gift. And I just talked to my landlord this morning about getting the grass cut. And we'd given her a shirt. And I said, hey, listen, I want you to tell everybody in the neighborhood that they're welcome to come over and get a tie-dye T-shirt. And she was like, wow, that's awesome. How much? And I said, nothing. They're just free. And so I think we bought a little goodwill with that gesture. Always be friends with the locals, right? And so what else is going on? We've got, I don't know how many shirts we've got left, but a lot of them are really big. They're like 3 times large. And she says, that's okay. She says, I know some trike drivers, and I got to verify that. I've seen some trike drivers that are big boys, 250, 300 pounds hauling around. So those guys will appreciate it. And I wish I had 10,000 of these shirts, because I'd like to see all of Valencia just running around in tie-dye. And I've never owned a tie-dye shirt in my life. And now I got one. So here we go. Good morning, Doug. Hello. How are you? Let's see. Hi, Larry. I like my place. Oh, thanks, Edward. Yeah. It's a nice place. I'm really happy with it. We've yet to turn on the air conditioner, and today's a hot day. So I've got the fan over there going, and I've got the ceiling fan going. I'm sure there's going to come a time where it just, during the afternoon, that it's going to get hot. So we'll have to we'll fire that bad boy up. But in 4 days, I get my electric bill. And I'm very, very curious as to how much that's going to be. Howdy, Jim Burns. How you doing, my friend? Mr. Leprechaun's here. I think that's the first time we've talked, Mr. Leprechaun. Centennial Hills. Well, right on, Roy. Here's my boy, Ed. He's just always with me. How are you, my brother? Everything good? No Dean today. You're in good shape. Here's my friend Ian. Ian's got a great, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kotal Murders Death Island. I think congratulations, you cracked 1,000 subscribers. So Ian does a very, very excellent blog about the murders that have taken place on an island in Thailand. And very good stuff. And now you're moving into where you're interviewing some guys that have firsthand experiences with it. So if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, I really recommend that you get over there and check out my friend Ian's channel. Ian's the gentleman that came with me over to Sikihor when I had a stalker. Just rip grass and weeds by hands. Now, it's a big yard. I wanted to get it trimmed up one time, and they said it would last about 3 months. So they're going to take it down. And I'm just really doing it out of curiosity. I actually like the way it looks. It's like mounds. It reminds me of a golf course. But I thought we'll get it trimmed up and looking nice. And if it grows back in 3 months, it grows back in 3 months. So just do it. There's Upland / China Dave, my buddy. How are you, man? Oh, I heard this. I saw that on Facebook. A couple of my friends posted the weather chart. 113 friggin' degrees. Do not walk your dog. Good morning, Jeffrey. Thanks for straightening out that issue. And the other thing that we had, were they going to give me a voucher? Well, they sent me this. They sent me a email that didn't make very much sense. So I don't know what nationality wrote it. And they directed me to push a button. So I pushed the button. And wouldn't you know it, buddy, I went right down the rabbit hole with them. And so the voucher has yet to arrive. And I'm not sweating it, but I just thought you'd get a kick out of it. And I'm going to have to make a phone call to them. And I'm sorry, guys, but Jeff and I are having a private conversation here right now. And because I've got an issue with Riza that I've got to try to handle. And there's a way for me to call international numbers on Viber, but it's going to be interesting for me to figure out the time zone. And they are an awful company to deal with. So I don't want to say them out loud, but you know who I'm talking about. But and don't put any more time or effort into it, please. And we're going to have, in fact, we'll have the IT person coming out. Got canceled because of the quarantine. And now Riza can't come over for at least 2 weeks. So we bought Riza a brand new computer, and Jeffrey was helping out with the IT end of it. And now we're in friggin' hold again. That's unbelievable. It's like waiting for an airplane. But I thought you'd get a kick out of it because it was just classic internet trying to fix the problem rabbit hole. Hey, buddy, what's going on? We are doing great. We're doing fantastic. We are just so happy here. The privacy is awesome. It really is. It really is. I just can't, I don't know. It's a good thing. It's interesting because ever since I've been in the Philippines, which is 4 years, I've had 3 places for any length of time. And let me change this a little. And they've all been $400 a month, but they just keep getting better each time. Oh, thank you, Ed. We really are happy here. We really are. May's in heaven. I don't even have a TV set, and I don't really need one because I've been going out and filly farting around in the yard myself a little bit. And I just found that it's kind of like my mood sort of improves a little bit when I don't watch the news. So I have no desire to have a TV anymore. A couple of things that I watch on my phone, a couple of things that I can watch here on my computer. But as far as that kind of entertainment, I'm finding myself being much more proactive. And let me go here. Lockdown again. Yeah. The bad news is we're under lockdown. The good news is, for me being selfish, is I'm a big time procrastinator. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Well, I've been trying to run around town and buy some stuff for what I hope will eventually be a little studio for May and I to work out of, to make it more interesting for us and fun and quirky, I hope, and push the edge a little bit on some of the stuff we do. And then more interesting for you guys to watch or not watch. So we had over 1,000 new subscribers this last month. So I'm very appreciative of that. And then we had, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 people unsubscribe. And I'm appreciative of that too. But we can't go out now and get what I wanted to get. And it's been an Easter egg hunt trying to find the stuff that I want to. I have a vision in my mind. And so I know what I want, and I know how I want it to look, and I know the theme, and it's all going to be interchangeable. And now we're kind of stalled out, but I will have time to filly fart around with some other things that need to get done, because once I get started, I complete it. But I'm a major procrastinator, so I tend to put things off till later. Hopefully now I don't have any excuses. It's not like I can bug out and get a coffee. Good morning, Randy. Ladies and germs, that's right, buddy. Times are tough. Need to pick plants for tea. Understand the quarantine. Yeah. I'm really curious. I mean, I hope I don't get dengue, and I hope I don't get a fever. But I told May, I said, let's just boil some up for the hell of it and see what it tastes like. Diggity dog is right. Yep, ECQ is happening again. I was half tempted to read you guys a message that I got on Messenger. I just accepted a new guy as a friend on Facebook, which I try to do as often as possible. And he turned out to be kind of a whiner and a complainer. And I was going to read it out loud. And I thought, screw it. You know, maybe I'll save it for another time. It's just comical how these people are. Good morning. Yeah, 112 in Arizona. Good Lord. I remember those days, but it's a dry heat. It's hot here today. This is the hottest day we've had, and it's only 9 in the morning, 9:30. So we'll see what the day brings. It's I don't know what that means. Okay, you guys are chatting. Good. Hey, Tony. Let's see. I've been waiting for you. Mr. Dean was too much for me, way over the radar, so I unsubscribed to his channel. Tell me that you're pride and privilege, buddy. But I like to push the edge a little bit. I'm also guilty of liking to stir the pot and just kind of rattle things up. I like to change things up a little bit and do different things. So Dean was totally extreme, and I think we'll have him on one more time, but I made him promise that he would have one of the females that could speak English that I would talk to. And then that'll probably be it for the Dean show. I don't know. Keep safe. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. We have some friends whose 1-year-old daughter had COVID, and he's going to be coming over and talking about not so much the COVID, but he wants to talk about and give you guys information about what it was like with the hospital, how much it cost, the way they organize or disorganize things, and just about healthcare in general over here, which is subpar. I'm sorry, Miguel, but you have subpar stuff over here. And I think it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. But he's a little camera shy, so I was thinking maybe that I would just do it with him off camera. And I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, you know. But he really wants to tell the story because he was really pissed off about the way it was handled. It's true as long as the ink was wet. Very well said, my friend. Very well said. That's exactly right. And things out here change hourly. So what I hear at 10 o'clock in the morning, what I'm telling you right now could change by the time I finish this little podcast. Good morning, George. How are you? You're always on the channel. I love that. Thanks for coming in. No, I haven't bought my ticket home. There's no point in going home if I can't get back. Because my whole dealio now is I want to go home. It's always been my dealio. I want to go home. I want to be in America for a couple of weeks tops, you know, see my parents and my father, rather, my mother passed. See my father in Cali, my sister, various other people. Go to Vegas. I want to see some friends there and relatives there. My kids are there. And in both places, I want to try to get together with as many people that watch the channel for like a dinner or a breakfast or a lunch or a coffee or something like that, a cold beer. I don't know, whatever you guys want to do. So I was thinking when I got to California that I would stay there. I would get, over whatever jet lag I might have in the next day, see my dad, see my sister. That'll probably be 2 days. On day 3, I thought I would post something up, go live or whatever, and just say, hey, I'm at this place. If you guys can make it out, I'll be there at 11 o'clock or whatever. I don't know. I'll take suggestions. And then do the exact same thing in Vegas. I think Vegas will be easier for a lot of people because I think I have, where my dad lives is out by Palm Springs. And so that's kind of out there in the high desert. That's not like, in California, it's a very big place. But I think Vegas would be easier to put that together for you guys at least. I know a number of you live out there. Let's see. Philippines needs to get with the program. Government needs to share the vaccines with the masses. Yeah, there are a number of guys I know have taken the vaccine. And it's available out here, but then it seems like they keep running out of stock. So who knows what's going on. Philippines seems to be going backwards, back to a year ago. I'm in Thailand, all opening up, just the bars closed at the moment. I agree with that. You know what I was thinking before I started all this is it crossed my mind that out here we take one step forward, then we take 2 steps back. And then we take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And you're absolutely right. The government is discombobulated. There's all these little fiefdoms. There's all these guys that just, make their own stuff up, whatever benefits them, actually. It is. I'm not complaining. It's, there's so many people out there that are hurting. I got no room to complain. I just kind of try to let you guys know what the update is. But there's so many people out here that are hurting now because now, just as they were starting to get back on their feet, they can't go to work or they can't, it's just a nightmare. Get with the program is right. We don't have a program. Yeah, it's a fact. Don't try on douchebags. They do, buddy. That's exactly what they do. They are. It's the same here, if not worse. And I was watching that for a while. The Gavin Newsom or something like that. Is that his name? Gavin something. Gavin Newsom. I don't know. The mayor or the governor of California and then the governor of Florida were opposite ends of the spectrum. And after a while, that all just got old because it was just like, who's got the biggest mayor? So. It's hard to keep up with the rules. Good morning, John. How are you? Quarantine sucks. I'm lucky enough today I will drive from Perth, Calgary, which is distance. All good for you. So things lightening up in Australia. Like I said, I haven't watched the news. I know America seems to be. They finally they've had enough. Yeah. And then I read that a bunch of workers in Vietnam, again, I don't know what I read is true, that were fully vaccinated got sick. So that might put them backwards. Hey, June, thank you for joining in. COVID cases are most likely false positive. Heard that from another blogger, Philly. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Let's see more. You know what? I'll probably do one of those a stream a day kind of thing. I think Gio did that last quarantine. I think Gio was on for like 40 straight days or something like that. I don't have that in me. My little live streams are pretty much impromptu. And you know what? I did a video about banking, and it really wasn't to be an instructional video. It was more about why I did it and making up a safety net I didn't have all the mechanics that I should have had in that video, so I apologize for that. But one guy had asked, it had broke out a great big laundry list, and it wasn't snarky at all. It was just informative, and it was concise, and I really appreciate it. So I pinned that to the comment of what I didn't mention, or what I might have been off course with. I made that video too soon. I needed to do a little bit of banking and do a little more investigating and asking questions, but it is what it is. So there is a comment on that video about banking that I pinned. I'll double check. And it kind of fills in the gaps. Let's see. Rental houses in Batangas is really good deals right now. Get your 1-year contract in the phone, everything on contract, no verbal agreement. I just signed a 1-year contract for this place. First contract I've ever signed. I've always gone month to month. And I don't know, just the landlord, I think her sister is more in charge. But I said I could do a year here. I lived here for 2 weeks. I kind of know the good, the bad, and the ugly of the neighborhood. And there's not too much ugly. I'll get into that later. What do you think is a good money-making idea? Well, Tony, if you're referring to the Philippines as far as making money, the majority of the guys that I know that work teach English online in some form or another. Some guys get paid real well, and other guys make $5 an hour. And so that's an availability. Yes, you have to invest. I would invest into a pocket Wi-Fi deal, like for $50 a month, to make sure I can always be online to make that money. If you're talking about a business out here, the only business that seems to make sense to me, which I would never do business out here for a dozen reasons. But you asked the question, I think storage units would be a good job, or a good business to open. Especially if you're in a touristy, kind of foreigner saturated type of area. Wouldn't work with a shit out in the province, but here, like in Valencia or Dumaguete, I think that would be a pretty safe bet. But there's so many reasons why I wouldn't do a business out here that it would take all day. And then the other thing that seems to be a good business no matter where you go. I mean, of course, you got to factor in this COVID. You got to pretend that COVID doesn't exist. And we talk in generalities. A fitness center or a gym, that would take a lot of capital. But if you're asking my opinion, that's it. I think those, from what I've seen, that those would be fairly consistent. In other words, if you opened up a storage center, you're not reliant, or a fitness center, you're not reliant upon replenishing stock, right? I mean, once you build it, it's there. And once you got your exercise equipment in place, it's there. What else do you need after that? You just need staff. They'll always be available. See, like a restaurant, whew, that would be dicey because there's stuff that's just out of stock, undeliverable, and so many other factors. I don't like that idea. And a lot of guys want to be restaurateurs, and I say rock on. But I see more fail than succeed. You gave the shirts up. Yeah, I didn't actually wear them though, right? But we're looking really forward to just giving those out. And they're super pretty. They really are well done. Goldfinger, dude, you're an artist. And speaking of artists, there is a kit that Goldfinger included in that one ballot buying box. We've only opened one ballot buying box, and we've got a bunch more. And I guess we'll be doing that next 2 weeks too. And to be honest with you, we just haven't had, we've tried to get, we wanted to do it right. So we took that ballot buying box, we kind of sorted it out. There were a couple of things that I think May kept. I can't remember what they she gave away 5 4 or 5, 6 shirts to her sister to take out to her father and mother and cousins and all that, which is awesome. And something else. Oh, she gave away a shower curtain. And I told her, I said, the shower curtain is to cover the table for when you're doing the tie-dye mixing thing. And she just gave me that look, like, well, you want me to give it back? I can't give it to my mother. And I said, no, okay, give it to your mother. We'll buy another shower curtain, I guess, for the box. But I know a guy out here named Rommel, and he's an artist. And I don't know of too many people out here. I want to donate the tie-dye making process. It's got instructions, it's got the bottles, it's got the ingredients, it's got everything you need. It's even got the buckets that you need to make a tie-dye t-shirt, except blank shirts. So I'm going to try to get a hold of Rommel and see if he would be interested in it, because he's just one of those artsy guys. He does sculptures, he does paintings, he does photography. He's a local, and he's just an all-around good guy. And he seems to be the most qualified to take over that kit. It's like $800 that's invested in that box just to produce a tie-dye t-shirt. I didn't realize that. Man, I thought they were like ketchup holders, squeezers, these bottles. We didn't know what we were getting into. Oh no, another crazy shooting. Yeesh. What's up with that? We're still your biggest fans. I like my subscribing base. I like my guys that are my viewers, if you will. I like you guys. I really do. I'm not just blowing smoke. You guys are funny as shit. Like when Dave's on, I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And I realized it got a little repetitive after the last one. I said, this is getting repetitive, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it repetitive. But I got such a, you guys entertained me. It was awesome. Neighborhood's gonna, I know. I told myself, if Jerry Garcia was still alive, we could just have them do a concert out here, I'd make a killing. Dean, I know. People feel very strongly about Dean, either one way or the other. It's interesting, too, because some guys go, I love Dean. And other guys are like, they hate Dean. And there's just no middle ground with him, which I like. I'd like to find 4 or more other guys, not necessarily like Dean, but 4 or 5 other guys that are just, that help stir the pot, And I don't want to do political stuff or anything like that, but just characters, I think is the word I'm looking for. I like people who are characters in a good way. And you got to admit that Dean never went into the gutter or used a lot of cursing or anything like that. He was just being himself. Hey, good morning, Mr. Ron. Yes, I've changed my spot so you can find it. Let's see. Yes, I changed my spot so you could find it. Let's see. I don't get it, Dave. Is it just me? Don't forget to run the aircon every once in a while to avoid the black mold issues. Oh, you know what? Was it you that told me that originally? I am going to do that. I didn't know that. But see, you guys rock. You guys tell me stuff. Like, I have water bottles outside because I haven't used water bottles in over a year. And another guy said, don't do that. Bring them in the house because the sun will do something to the plastic and cause health issues. So thank you for whoever gave me that little tidbit. And then it was you or somebody else or 2 people that told me to go ahead and run the aircon. I guess I run it for about an hour. Maybe I'll do it today. Actually, I don't want to do it today because I'm waiting until the 20th. I really want to see just how much my electric bill is without running the aircon. So I'll do it in 5 days or 4 days. Jim Burns, quarantine's got to be better at the new place. That's exactly right. And the quarantine, when they first did it a year ago, it was a real pain in the ass. You had to have a quarantine pass. I could only go out, me being an old guy over the age of 65, could only go out on certain days. They weren't allowing back riders on bikes. They were just policing the place into the ground. And I got a feeling that they're going to lighten up on some of those rules. We'll see. They're strong on masks, which is fine. But next couple of weeks, it's only 2 weeks, by the way. So we got plenty of food. We did that yesterday. And May's got the garden. And I've got stuff that I need to get done around here that I haven't touched yet because I'm lazy. And so that'll put a little spark in my ass to get up and get some things going. So it is better. And I'll tell you the best part is there's no one here to annoy me. If you know what I mean. I don't have any neighbors close by. Apartment living and house living is two different things. And I got annoyed both places before. Yeah, the Paul and Dean variety show. That's a good analogy. I like that, a little variety show. And that is a rule of thumb, but just out of nowhere, just come up with something and have some other Looney Tune on here. Yeah. See, another one that's not a fan. I appreciate the guys that unsubscribed after Dean. I appreciate them because it showed me that they were sort of thin-skinned. It wasn't everything. I'm getting out of here. I think just turn the program off if you don't like it. But I'm glad they unsubscribed. If that makes any sense. Spring Valley, been there a long time, buddy. Good morning to you. It's about time. It is always about time. Hey, hello there, young lady. Nice video of Baby May helping her sister with a catering business. Yeah. That was a nice little video. I just did, I think we found the secret component to May's channel is my new little whiz-bang gimbal. Since I got my new little whiz-bang phone is working really good. And it was all about the processor in the phone. That was the issue before. So May wanted to do a video this morning of the yard work that she's doing and her gardening and all that kind of stuff. And she told me, hey, I'm going to do this. And she was going to get her selfie stick out. I said, that ain't going to work. It's not going to happen. Let me video you. And I did the same thing when she did the catering thing. So May's English her accent is so thick that it's difficult for people to understand her. I understand her just fine. I can speak May. I can understand May. I know what she's talking about. Even when she totally mispronounces something, I get it. But for the most part, not always. But for the video, she's limited. And so it allows me to kind of narrate and makes it easier on you guys and easier on May. She can just focus on what she's doing. And she's much more relaxed in the video. And so we just did one 10 minutes ago. We did one out in the front yard, and then we did like another part out in the backyard. And she's going to loop those two together. And she doesn't have to spend hours and hours editing them because she gets embarrassed when she misspeaks or can't find the word. I said, don't feel bad. I hunt for words all the time. I don't edit. But it's easier on her. And I like the quality of the video. It's much more stable because she likes to do the outdoor stuff. So I told her this morning, I said, you know what I want to do on my channel is to talk about doing things different. I've never been a big fan of walk and talks and all that kind of stuff down at the boulevard because so many people do them. But I want to do a walk and talk with May here in the neighborhood because there's a lot of interesting things to show you. And I know you guys are curious about not just living here, but I want to give you, I've shown you the house and I've shown you our yard. And I think a great follow-up video to that would be the neighborhood and where we can go. And I probably will let May or ask May to actually edit one of my videos because I would like to do it on the scooter, have her hold the camera. And as we drive up the hill, I obviously can't be filming that. And then after that, we'll walk together, and I'll do all the talking and show you around as we walk down the hill. And I just thought that would be a fun little video for us to do and one for you guys to watch. Good morning, Larry. Where's Gaylord? I don't really have a place to put Gaylord here. I don't have it. Again, my little studio that I'm trying to do will include Gaylord and many other characters that we're going to introduce. But I can't hang Gaylord anywhere. I could set him here if I wanted to, but I don't want to hold him all day. Yeah, thanks for all the promotion, Paul. About 5% of my viewers now come from the USA, which really is close to 0. Well, that's awesome. You deserve it, dude. You've got a really, really good channel. It's grown a lot. Your channel's matured a lot. I understood what you were trying to do before, but I think what you're doing now is a much better format, if I may. And so I feel real confident in sending people over to check you out. Because a lot of guys are thinking about Thailand, and so am I. And so if they go to Thailand, this is very, very useful information for them. So I'm going to leave that up there a little bit, guys. And actually, what I'll do is I'll put a link to his channel in the description box when we get done with this. So I can confirm it to you. Well, I guess it's going to have to be via phone because I sent him an email. I sent them an email. They led me to some deal. I was talking about the rabbit hole. I was unfair to you. I went back, started all over again, and then I simply replied to his email, and then I went to like the help section or resolution center or some friggin' thing, and I sent that an email. And I just want to see how long this takes. And I don't want you to lift a finger. You've already done enough, my friend. I want to play with it. And I think when I get the IT person over here, we can really rump on them. Hey, Steve, what's going on, Daddy-O? So Steve was out here for a while. And he was on the channel. Hey, bigger digs. Now you can get more stuff. That's right. Do not always comment here, but often here you're getting more lockdown. Yeah, Steve's a nice man. He was out here with me. And we got some stories to tell, don't we, Steve? How are you doing? I hope you're coming back soon. Yeah, she did pretty good for what she's got to work with. And May was editing it for her, and it's a whole dealio. It will be, Riza did pretty good. But what I liked about where Riza's doing her interviews from is the background of where she lives. And you get an idea of what it's really like. And she's got a great little personality. And that smile that you see plastered on her face is genuine. It's not like she's just going like this, because she's on camera. She's always like that. She just always smiles. Even when her grandmother passed away, she did her best to smile. You will not move back to tight quarters again. I think you can always visit or be visited rocketing. Yeah, that's true. We had some friends over night before last. May made some spaghetti, and they came over with their kids, and they let their kids run around in the yard, and we all had a great time. And this will be a good time for us to go out because we have a lot of friends that are local, and I've been meaning I don't want to have a party here. That's not my thing, but I do want to have people over one-on-one, couples that we're friends with. And so we're still, the issue with us is we don't have really tables and chairs. We've only got 5 or 6 chairs, and they're cheap plastic. In fact, I broke one. I leaned back in it, my fat ass, and the thing broke. I just bought it. And so we need to go out and buy more furniture. But it is what it is. Let me know. I'll be in Puerto Rico from Wednesday to Wednesday, starting tomorrow. Okay. I do want to talk to you in person because I get tired of texting. And I do want to meet you over the phone and have a conversation and some things I want to discuss with you. So anyway, have fun in Puerto Rico, dude. Yeah, I get it. In fact, I've been meaning to tell you guys that I'm a big procrastinator, but I've been putting it off too. PR is nice. Puerto Rico. Never been to Puerto Rico. It seems that you have made the transition from the hurry in the United States to the chilled out, relaxed Filipino lifestyle. Definitely. I definitely have. I was thinking about that the other day. I think about that a lot. I often, when I do a video sometimes, I like to reflect back on when I first got here. In fact, I had to do that on the banking video. And it brought me back and to how wound up I was when I got here. I didn't realize how wound up I was until it took about a year, to be honest with you. What do today you put off until tomorrow? My thoughts exactly. It'll still be there. Give you something to, I'm happy you did hit it, John. Hurry up, but wait. That is the theory out here. Sheesh. Yeah, I will. I'll give ample warning to Dean whenever Dean's coming on. I did that last time. In fact, I said it in the title, hide the kids. And, if you're on blood pressure medication, double up. If you're going to stick around, make sure you've got something to wipe your forehead with. That's the one guy that can speak for 30 minutes straight and never take a breath. Yeah, standing in the oven is a dry heat too. You got that right. Isn't it funny how we try to put all these little positive spins on stuff? Freaking hot. That's all I know. Yeah. That's been my whole dealio down here is with May and now with her sister is to it's just my nature not to just. I learned the lesson with raising my kids when my kids went off the reservation, and I enabled them, and it was a bad thing. Whenever there was a problem, because I was financially secure during that period of my life, I would throw money at it. And I found, hindsight being 2020, I found out that was the worst thing that I could do. So with May and her sister, and it kind of started a trend. A lot of other guys out here got their girlfriends on the channel, and I totally respect it because it teaches business. It gives them something that they can fall back on. If they're good at it, they can make a living from it. If they're not so good at it, they can make a little bit of money from it, which is probably still more than what they would make standing on their feet for 12 hours a day down at Robinson's. They can work from home. There's just, I don't see any downside to it. And then on the banking, I felt May didn't know what a bank did. I mean, her father never had a bank account. They grew up in abject poverty. So it's kind of like a life lesson too. And it's funny because I was friends with a lot of women, just platonic friends, and they told me the same thing. They got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend wanted to open them up an account, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know what was going on in here." They didn't know what the bank was. It was just off limits. It was like me walking into an insurance company and wandering around, some big skyscraper somewhere. I'm not buying any insurance. I don't want to work there. Why would I do it? It would just be and if I'd never seen a big building, or if I was from, the province, wherever I came from, and all of a sudden I wouldn't be compelled to go in there. I wouldn't know what was going on. So, I like to teach a man to fish instead of feeding one. So hopefully that's going to continue. Thank you. I don't know. I was going to do the box opening on a live like this, but I can't seem to get, I have to do the lives. I don't have to, but I prefer to do the lives on the computer. And so one of my projects today will be seeing if I can get the angle right with the computer and trying to answer comments and all this other stuff. You can do it from your phone, but same issue really is trying to keep track of everything. It's just, I think, better quality if I videotape it. But I told May, I think what she should do is get 3 or 4 of her friends over here and open up 2 or 3 boxes at once. And I would be a little more proactive as far as, the first one that she opened on her little channel, I think it was, I just let her go, and I did not do a real good job with filming it. So I got that mistake out of the way. And I've learned that you should open the box first. Not look inside, but just get the opening part done. It's boring. Just spend 3 or 4 minutes trying to cut through these boxes. So the answer, Jim, is probably not. And I'm not going to do it on a live stream. I'm just going to do videos of it. But I think we should knock out 3 or 4 boxes in one video, because I don't want to, if there's 8 or 9, that doesn't mean we should do 8 or 9 videos, right? It's just, that's going to get redundant and stupid. So we'll probably do one on my channel with half of them, and then the other half on May's channel, and then we'll be done with it. But to be honest with you, I'm trying to keep the clutter down. And so I want to unload a couple of things to people. I want to give away some shirts. I want to get the tie-dye making process deal over to Rommel if he wants it, and be done with it. And a friend of mine wants me to hold on to the empty boxes because he's moving, so that's fine. But there's a couple of little factors involved with those boxes. Stop crying, it's 118 here. Not crying, Jerry. Yeah. You got everybody beat so far. Where would we go that was so friggin' hot in Arizona on the river? Good day. Good day to you, my friend. Wood chopper and a Puccini. No, I wasn't. Remember him, King of Cars? I forgot about that guy. Banking when you live here sucks. Banking is interesting. It actually changes from bank to bank. But one thing I was really remiss in was minimum limits. So I'll do that right now. I have found that a peso account is much more palatable than a dollar account. And the vibe that I got after opening up these accounts, and actually the vibe that I had before, is they don't really want our dollars. In fact, there was a sign at the Bank of Commerce where we opened up our joint account that said interest paid on dollar accounts is going to go from 0.0129 or whatever the number was to 0 starting, I don't know when it was, but it was a few months ago. And so that was a clear signal we don't want dollars. If I have a dollar account at BDO, which I had a dollar account at BDO, I had to keep a minimum balance of $500. It could not go below that. Or they would just tell me they would, close the account. So BPI, when I was looking into it, was $200. And I went with BDO just because I thought it was a good idea to have the extra 500 lay in there. And it turned out that I was right. But a peso account at Commerce Bank, the minimum amount is 500 pesos. The minimum amount at Cebuana is 50 pesos. 500 pesos at Bank of Commerce, that's $10. I didn't ask him about a dollar account because I was too busy trying to get the thing done. I didn't want to drill the girl, 10,000 questions. What was I going to tell you? Oh, the minimum amount at BDO on a peso account, which May has, is 2,000 pesos. So I'm just more of a fan of this Commerce Bank. So, but that's just me. Where's Dean? Dean's been sequestered. Hey, hold on. Love Baby May's new crib. Another vlog said that dudes coming into the Philippines will be less than 70 to 72 years old, assuming adequate financing and reasonably good health. What say you? Let me read that again. Let's see. Another vlog said that dudes coming to the Philippines will be less than 70 to 72 years old. I don't know. There's no age limit. Walks of all type move here. Guys my age, guys in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s, they all live here. There's a mixed mosh. Majority of the guys that I see out here are kind of like two extremes. It's either the 60s retired crowd or it's the 30-somethings that work online. But I don't know what vlog that was. Dudes coming to the Philippines be less than 70 or 72. I don't know if he was maybe he was putting it in context with health issues. Dean is a filler, yeah. He's just one of those guys you want to put on there. Karen, Canine Companion. Hello, everyone. Some COVID news. Thailand is having a burst of issues. And America has found that adolescents receiving the shot are having issues. The enlargement of the heart. Well, thank you for the comment, Canine, buddy. So Thailand is having, see, here it goes. It changes again. A guy commented earlier that Thailand was doing just great. The only things that were not open were bars. And then here we have Canine, who's kind of having a burst of issues. And now America's having issues. So I don't have any issues. You guys have issues? Thumbs up. That's right. Don't forget to bend at the knees and hydrate. I know how tough it is to like this video, which helps my little algorithm. Whatever that means. Jerry Thomas, I feel you is essential. Okay, you guys are discussing amongst yourselves. I always love it when that happens. I don't have one, Patrick. Thank you for that. I'd love to meet up with you and a bunch of other people. I don't know. Somebody asked me, when are we going to be able to travel? I said, I don't know. Let's figure for the end of the year, 6 months. I've been wrong on I thought we'd be done by now. So who's I talking to? So I think I was talking to my friend Gary out here, and I see he goes, what do you think? I said, I'm going to call 6 more months, end of the year. He says, I think it's going to be longer than that. Who knew that this thing was going to rage on for 2 years? I thought it would be over with, and, like the swine flu. It would be a news blurb for a week, and that'd be it. I was born problem with age of being health in yours. Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be an issue. Everything's hard to get when you're 70 over. I'm still going strong is right. Why not? Let's see, David. If they don't stop messing around, it will come back and bite them. People will be so afraid with their nonsense that they won't come, even for a visit. I would agree with that. On a micro level, I'm like that. If I don't like a restaurant for the smallest reason, I just don't go back to it. And the same thing can apply to a country. It's like enough's enough already. I'm just not going to spend my money there. Let's see. The Philippines is not the only country on flip-flopping on the C-19 procedures, re-vaccine restrictions. Canada was all over the place for a while. I agree with you. I don't think anybody knew what to do with COVID, and I think they're still learning. So they try to adjust. And somebody was telling me that sent me a message that Canada, the immigration Canada's like number 3 now for receiving Filipinos as OFWs. Big Dave says, is Dean still trying to find an English that will go along with his tall tales? Yep. Yep. Somebody sent me a thing from his channel where he was in a car with a girl who had agreed to come on the channel. But I told Dean, just call me on Messenger, which is how we communicate, and let me know one day in advance so I can get myself friggin' mentally prepared. But there has to be the flip side of the coin. We've heard from Dean, what, 3 times now? Enough. It's the same story. Why he loves it, how much it costs, how far away it is, what he does, he's in rotation. Okay. Well, it's starting to sound like a broken record. No disrespect to Dean, but he's only got so much he can say, right? I want to hear the girl's perspective. But no, he has not contacted me. Well, thank you very much, Wayne. And I'm glad that New Zealand is COVID-free. Are they accepting people? I heard that New Zealand is stupid expensive. I don't know why. Is that true? Thanks, George. Insurance is the money issue. Understand. Got that covered. Yeah. Yeah. I am prepared just to, I wouldn't want to get treated here. So I come up with a condition, which is inevitable. I'll just go back to the States. Yeah, California fully open from COVID. And they were the worst, weren't they? If I got the guy's name right, is it Gavin Newsom? Or have I got that screwed up? But he was a real prima donna, going out to lunch at, what was it called? The French something. And, you know, setting a poor example, giving away a bunch of money. But if that's good news, I hope, hopefully America just gets right back to work, and that's that. How you doing, Steve? The Philippines are followers, my understanding, or my observation. And so the people that, when they see Thailand open and they see Vietnam open, I think the Philippines will be last. I see, do you make enough of a YouTube channel to pay for your rent? And then sometimes we do. I did a video with a house tour, and it got 60,000 views. And I made a couple $300 off that one video. Most videos bring me about $20, 20 to $30 in AdSense money. So every blue moon, we make a little money. And I'm really good with my money over here. I squander wisely, I like to say. So, for example, when we were moving in here and Baby May's grandma passed away at the exact same time, I dipped into my squander money and I took May to a resort, and it was like $100. And she just needed it. She just needed to take a break from everything. And I felt that was a good squander of the money. So the YouTube money that comes in from AdSense, I save that as best as possible. Or May and I do some stuff on the side for the community that we don't videotape. Paul, maybe now they will not ask you when the Philippines will open up since you don't know and you can't go out of the house again. Yeah, that was the question forever and ever and ever. And now people don't even bother asking. Yeah, there in the U.S., there are enough people vaxxed that most places don't wear masks, social distance, live music is back, and the stands, no mask required, Vegas. That is good friggin' news. Whew, that's great. That's awesome. I'm happy for you guys. I love my country, and I think that it needs to just get back on its feet and go back to work. And, just get back to friggin' normal. I'm concerned about the people that couldn't go to things like AA meetings, and so many people that got depressed and lonely and committed suicide because they were just alone. People were not meant to be alone. And so I think the addicted people that couldn't make it to their AA or NA meetings, they got themselves back on the downward spiral. I feel bad for them. But as it picks up, I hope that there's some hands that reach out to those people. Let's see. Oh, some insurance companies don't want to insure people 70 plus. Yeah, because they know we're going to die. Well, they know we're going to get sick. It's a bad gamble. Live from New York City, Queens. Right on, Mitch. Hi, Paul. A fan here from Davao just subscribed, and with Baby May too. Good day, everyone. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I'm always happy when I see a female subscriber. That means I don't offend quite everybody. Good morning, says Travel Vlogs. You must be a Filipino to open a business there. It does have to be attached to a Filipino, yeah. That's one of the, I said I would never do it. That's one of the 15 reasons I wouldn't. It's not in my name. What about doing a mail and package place? Possibly. They've got those. I had a guy one time, what did he do? He sent me money. And he says, I want advice. I don't give advice. And he says, it's too late. I already sent you some money. I want to do a private video call with you. I just give you back your money, buddy. I don't want to do that. He says, now keep the money. He says, but just talk. Okay. So he came up with an idea, and he asked my opinion. I told him it was a bad idea, and I never heard from him again. Probably wishes I gave him back the money. Hey, how you doing, Hawaii? Hawaii/Vegas? Yeah, oh man. Yeah. I ran a business out here a couple of years ago for my friend that was dying. He had a whole bar resto place, and he eventually passed away. And I can tell you, that was the longest 30 days of my life. And it was in January when everything was being renewed, like taxes and mayor's certificates and all this other shit. Oh my God. It was never would I want to get involved in that. Dogs fitness and storage. And do a twofer, right? Have the storage down below and put the gym up on top. Excellent idea. Let's see. One thing that would be nice to have is a group of expats from many different countries that want to swap out their rentals. Yeah, kind of like a timeshare. Somebody could put that together. I plan to play with Phil Health. Yeah, I got the same program. Got the Phil Health for here, which saves some money. And so my friend Gary, when his daughter got sick, she has the Phil Health. The bill was $42,000 for 2 days, and they didn't do anything. He ended up paying $27,000. So that's a fairly substantial number to save. So I have the same program. The Phil Health for here, and then Medicaid and Medicare at home. Greetings from San Francisco. Besides the Philippines bank account, would you recommend having it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the deal, dude. They just told me out of the blue. Of course, they said they sent me an email, which I hadn't signed up for their little online thing. But they just changed the rules at the bank. And said, no, you can't have your money. And I could understand holding a check. Do that in America. I'd hold the guy's check before I released goods and services. I want to make sure the money's good. Anybody can write a check. Not everyone can cash one. So I get that. But I was giving them dollar bills. And they were perfect. They came from them. I zoomed it from them. They took it out of their dollar drawer and gave it to me, and I gave it right back to them and said, here, put it in my account. But they said they wanted to see where the money came from. I said, it came from you. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, in a foreign country, I just don't have that many rights. There has been one guy that I know for a fact, the manager at one of the banks retired. And when he retired, he took a bunch of people's money with him. And this guy went to the bank one day, and guess what? Half of his money, or a good portion of his money, was just disappeared. And he went inside, and they're just like, well, there's just nothing we can do except, keep you abreast of it. The good news is about 6 or 7 months later, they discovered this manager guy. They got the money back and they put it back in the guy's account. And I would call that the exception rather than the rule, but that is a true story. So I have the Philippines bank account as a backup. In other words, I've now got $500 laying around between two different bank accounts, approximately. And I have a debit card for one, and an ATM card for one, and I'm waiting for the other ATM. Now, if I transfer money over and I always pay my rent right up front, so I unload that cash. I have a safe, secure place wherever I go to store cash. But I just thought that the bank account would do a number of things. Number one, my credit cards and my original debit card, they actually hit the expiration date because I've been here so long. And part of me going back to the States was to get all that squared away. They do not mail here. I can open up a mail forwarding service, but that's after the fact. Everything's already done. So I think that it's an excellent backup. It's number one, I don't have to go to my American bank and link it to anything because I don't like stuff linked. I just don't trust it. But I don't have a problem linking it to an account that's only got $500 into it, as opposed to one that's got my Social Security check going into it every month. You feel me? So I think you should keep your American or British or Australian account as your main account. If you're receiving an income like I am, Social Security in my case. And then there's no problem with open a bank account here, but just don't make it your primary source. I would never have my Social Security check directly deposited into a bank here in the Philippines. I know a number of guys that do. And I know a number of guys right now are screaming at their computer going, "You're nuts. It's great. I don't have to transfer money, this, that, and the other." God bless you. I'm not here to argue with you. I just don't feel comfortable with it. What if there's a coup? What if there's a changeover? What if this? What if that? I always try to worst case scenario stuff, especially when it comes to something important like money. So, I'm cut off from money here. I'm done. It's just done. So I've every month now, I'm going to move my money over and I'm going to add another $100 or $50 or whatever it is to each account and just kind of build it up. And it also gives May some access to additional funds also. She's got her own bank. She never asked me for any money. She would never have the balls to just go down and pull out money from that account unless it was an emergency. She wouldn't do it. She'd take it from her own bank. Hell, I have to help her do that. She's always forgetting her PIN number. California is over. Yeah. Those masks drive me crazy. Either you're open or you're not. And the thing about a restaurant is, you got to take the mask off to eat. So why do you have to have one to walk in? I just don't get it. If it don't fit, store it. Yeah. That's right. Oh my God. Hey, thank you very much, my friend. We're going to have to do another live stream together. The last time we did it, we were having audio issues. So maybe you can hit me up and we'll set a time up and I'll have somebody normal on the show instead of Dean. I'd like to talk to you more. And I got the audio thing figured out. So let's get together soon. And thanks for the congratulations. What's that mean? I do. Yep. Yes, I do. I could eat a steak and baked potato and salad 365 days a year for dinner. Anyway, I'd be a happy clam. Because I can season it a little different. One day I put a little Lowry's on it. The other day I use horseradish. The other day I saute some mushrooms and put it on top of it. But I'm a steak potato guy. And it always have been, always will be. And, You can buy steaks out here, but they don't taste the same, and B, they're very expensive. So, but yeah, that would be one of the things that I would do. As far as I would go alone too. That sounds odd, I know, but I would go have me a steak when I went to America, and I would go alone. I don't want to even talk to anybody. I just want to eat there, sit there and eat that bad boy and just savor the moment and try my best to remember it. But that is my favorite meal of all meals. No, sir. He's been quarantined. I have my own set of quarantine rules. You don't want to wear out a good thing, do you? Oh, look, I love Dean. See? We've had 2 no's and 1 yes so far. It's always interesting. See, I like Dean because Dean creates conversation. Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate that, man. We'll wrap it up pretty soon here. We've been on for over an hour, and that's enough for anybody. So I'm going to go through the comments, and we'll just kind of wrap it up. I agree with you, Randy. I agree. That's why I like having him on the show, because I like to stir the pot and make it a little different, and add some variety to it. Because just sitting here and me yapping is fine, I guess. I like to talk to you guys. I like to try to give whatever kind of updates on what we're doing. And I like to give updates about what's going on. So now you know, if you didn't know before, that we're under quarantine. I have no clue when things are going to lift. Little correction I made on a video, or add on, if you will, addendum to the banking video. I wanted to get that off my chest. And I wanted to show you the medicinal plants that we've got out here for fevers, dengue, and regular. And here we go. Greg. I had a couple of Gregs on. I kept thinking, I think it was you that was saying, bring Dean on. And I had another Greg that I thanked. He goes, I'm not that guy. What's the biggest negative to growing old there as an expat, and maybe a reason not to come? Chris, I would honestly say healthcare, quality of healthcare. Yeah, if you're in bad health, and you could be 30 years old and be in bad health for that matter. But the other issue would be, at least in Dumaguete, I cannot speak for any other city with any kind of confidence, but it's very uneven. In other words, it's very easy to trip and fall. I've fallen and I can't get up. So health-related stuff. And then if you walk with a cane, or it's definitely not come here in a wheelchair. It just won't work. It just doesn't work. Let's see. I leave when he comes on. Thank you very much, Shailene. You like my videos? I like your buffets. Who deleted the man buns? Deleted your comment? No kidding. They did? You know what? I have a new thing. I'm really loving the comments right now, because it used to be labor intensive for a number of reasons. One, I had a really slow computer, which made it hard. Number two, I had a really slow internet connection, which made it hard. And number three, I was holding them for review. And the reason I held them for review, it doubled my work. And the reason I did it, the hold for review, is because I had females on the program with me. And some very insulting, nasty, naughty things were being said. And Filipinas are extremely sensitive to gossip and chismes and that kind of stuff. They're very sensitive. So I wanted to be cognizant of their feelings. And so now I just took because it's just me, and in the videos, it's been just me, I've taken the throttle off. So, and I never delete any comments. In fact, I try to find the snarkiest one there is and pin it. So I don't care about the comments if they're bad. So I don't know who would delete that. And I don't, as far as I know, Google doesn't delete comments. They would delete me. Oh, in the sea. Oh, was that you, Scott? Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you. I'm really bad with names, and I go through all the comments really fast. So I apologize for not remembering your name, Scott, but I appreciate that. That's healthy information, buddy. Thank you. No mask in Minnesota. God, see, it's just getting better and better in America. I think Dean was okay. I enjoyed him. He's just a guy trying to have a happy life and work his business. Possibly some of us should be more like Dean. He's okay. What I liked about Dean was his honesty. He didn't try to. What you see is what you get with Dean, and I like that. I like that. I wish our politicians were like that, don't you? What you see is what you get. This is what I think. This is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to do. And instead of getting in and saying the right thing just to say it, I try to do my channel that way. I try to just say what I mean what I say, tell the truth, and be myself. And that's what I admired about Dean. He has the same motto, if you will. And no, he's not for. I'm not for everyone. He's not for everyone. Nobody is. Let's see. The Nicaragua president locking up his political opposition. We are organizing a SEAL team effort. See, this is the stuff I love. You guys come up with some of the wittiest stuff. God bless you, Paul. That was awesome. 80% now in Minnesota. Good. Do you know the other lady invited on before? No, that was funny. Two opposites. That was a poor, who was that? That was Renowin. That poor woman. She had no idea what was going on. And she just came by to say hi. And I go, hey, you want to be on the channel? Because I met her in Dumas. We hung out for a couple of days. And I did a thing on her channel, and she did one on mine. And we got along great. We had a lot of laughs. She's a really funny woman. And but you know what? If she had been a little more prepared, she had just woke up. And I said, you want to be on the channel? And she said, yeah, give me a couple of minutes. And I threw her on there with Dean. And I think Dean took her off guard. Do you ever feel a sense of the clock ticking? I mean, it ticks for all of us, but it can really rob us if we don't think, especially concerning those of us closer to the end of the beginning. Well, you know, that's interesting because I don't know when the end is. Would you want to know? Would you want to know the day, the date, and the time that you're going to expire? How would you live your life? So I realize that me making it to 66 has already been a blessing. So I'm at peace with it. If I go this afternoon, that's okay. You know, I've made my mark. I've done what I'm going to do. I'm good with it. Do I fret about something I have no control over? No, I don't, Chris. I don't feel that at all. And the clock, you're right, is ticking for all of us. But you know what? I had a granddaughter that was born, and she made it for 12 days. So, Dean, the talking machine. That's a fact. The boy can talk without taking a breath. He's like a robot. It does. I'm so happy. Thank you. There is no buffering. There is no stalling. I'll watch. It'll start stalling. Dean is walking to a room with a dog farted. You can literally taste it. Hi, well, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget to smile either. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Avik. The real nowhere man, Dean. All right, kids, I'm going to blast through these, and then I'm going to call it a day. I am. Yes, Dean, I am. Hey, Paul, you have to use a counterweight with your S21 when using your new gimbal. No, I don't. They have a dealio on the app, which is working like a champ, by the way, that calibrates. I finally figured out how to do it real fast. It was confusing me, as everything does in the beginning, but because I do it one time and I couldn't find it again. But today I learned. I was playing with it earlier. And that'll be another thing that during quarantine, I'm going to expand on the gimbal. One thing I haven't learned with my S21 and the gimbal is how to switch from selfie mode to exterior shots. So I got to figure you can do that. There's a way to go from me talking and say, okay, here you go, and push a button and have the camera flip to, whatever it is I'm looking at. But I haven't discovered that yet. So that's one of my little goals this week, is to jack around with that. Or maybe it doesn't do it. I don't know. Oh, look at Pacific Cross. Pacific Cross, yeah. I think the P did an interview with a representative from that. So you might want to check out her channel with the insurance. Can I live on my 12 hours? I don't know, buddy. I would hope so. That's an impossible question for me to answer because I don't know what your lifestyle is. It's like me saying, how much does it cost to live in America with a gal like mine? Oh, stay home. Yeah. Not really, but okay. Colin from Trude, stress here, boy. My job is getting harder. God bless you, Colin. What's the best thing about a Filipino gal that's harder to find in the West? I would say old-fashioned values. And basically, I can sum it up with attitude. Yeah. But, in all sincerity, Chris, they're just a more chilled out personality. Even a big shot female out here is still very polite, chilled out, respectful of others. There's not a lot of alpha dog women out here, even if they're in a position of authority. Yeah, I'm sure there's some politicians that are some real, alphas, but that'd probably be it. Yeah, that's a good statement, Ron. It's not necessarily the words; it's how they state them or use them. Dean gave Paul the ability to see us on the side of the screen. That's awesome for Paul and us. To me, the context, I loved it for that. But I'm with Ed Jolly. That was selfish of me. But it was fun, man. It was fun for me because I didn't realize, I knew you guys were funny, but I didn't know you were that funny. And I laughed till I cried. My face got beet red, especially the first time. I was late for an appointment because I just couldn't stop reading the comments. Everyone was just coming up with a new one, and they were just so fresh and just so funny and so creative. I would never have thought of those jokes in a million years. And you guys were running them out like they were popcorn. It was awesome. Do you think that you will get to the yes in sometime in 2022? I really do, Chris. I think it will finally happen. I said 6 months, but that would be a year and a half now, wouldn't it? So, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, IR. Thank you very much. That's really sweet of you. All right, I am going to thank you. We're going to do a lot. I wanted to do a lot more with Riza this week. I wanted to set up her computer. I wanted to have an IT guy come over. I wanted. And now this whole quarantine thing just put a complete brakes on that whole plan. So if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? Hey, Rebecca. See right there. There's a nice, successful woman. And look at that. That's the Filipino spirit right there. Always upbeat, polite, happy. Let me see Mark a little more. We're going to just hanging out with him. Well, I see Mark a little more regularly. I was been thinking about Mark. I know Mark's been busy and I've been busy. We used to live next door to each other, so it was really simple. So, I don't know. I was going to call him this week, but now the quarantine, so I don't know if we can get together. I'll know more today. I'll know more at the end of today and tomorrow as to just how open or not open it is. Let's see. Reza did a good interview with a cousin, and the beauty of the gene pool never ends. That a fact? That girl really is cute. And going to school, she was going to school for business management. You lived in Vegas and sold cars. You saw something here in Canada that was funny. A guy in Vegas who was all blue and had a silly cable show. Yeah, that was the Chopper. And the guy in blue was the genie. And he actually had a show on somewhere. What was it called? The King of Cars. I can't remember what. It wasn't on a regular network. But I never met that guy. I never wanted to. He was kind of this gangster guy, and that was his vibe. I knew John Barr real well with Toyota. I've opened one, Chris. All right, guys. I'm going to, you know what? I haven't, and what I want to ask you about is I forgot the name of it. So, but you said there's a new car for 10 grand, which is still out of my range, but I would like to know the name of it again. You told me one time, and I haven't even looked for a car. I told my mechanics to look for a car. I said, when you run across a nice used car that's for sale, that you've worked on and you understand, give me a call. And they go, how much you want to spend? And I said, well, about $5,000-6,000. And they said, okay. And they've done nothing. Let's see, hi, Paul. You ever come to Patton? I have never gone anywhere, to be honest with you. I say that tongue in cheek. I've been to Sikihor. I've been to Manila. I've been to Cebu. I went to Angeles City. Keep meaning to make a video about the Angeles City trip. I was there for a weekend. That was my lost weekend in Angeles City. And where else have I been? Where else did I go? Here in the Philippines, not much. But I'd like to get around more. Man, I want to travel. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Thumbs up are always nice. It's interesting when is every live stream that I do, I get 14 thumbs down right away. Minimum. Some go way beyond that. But whenever I go and I get done with the live stream, which will be done in 5 minutes, guys, I go to process the video so that people can watch it on replay. And it shows me the likes and the dislikes. And it's always 14 or more. No less. Down. Thank you for watching. Any advice for a dad who has two sons of completely cut him out of their lives? It's painful. I know the feeling, brother, but I would stick around until the kids were of age because that could change. I don't like the idea of guys leaving small kids to come over here and cat around or reboot their life or whatever. I think a father's obligation is to see it through to the end, till they're 18, till they're on their own. It does suck, but I would hang in there and not give up. You know, God can work miracles. Paul, I've watched your channel for a long time. Would you say that history has added years to your life? It is, yeah. The short answer would be yes, it has. I heard you had to have an account if you're a girl, if you want to enable her to leave. I don't believe that's true. The first time that a woman here tries to leave the country, I don't know about the men, the country is very suspect about her intentions. So if a female was to go just by her, one way obviously is an OFW that has a contract with the Saudi government or America. And I hear a lot are going to Canada. That's a totally different kettle of fish. That's no problem. They're going to get on the plane. They're going to go. But for, let's just say baby May and I weren't together and May decided she wanted to go see Vietnam or Thailand and she went up to immigration, she had her ticket, there's a good chance they would offload her. They would say, no, you can't go. we're afraid you won't come back. If she was to put her hand into her purse and show her the deed to a house and then show them, a couple million pesos in her bank account here, and then reach in and show that she owns Sorry Store and two other entities, and pull in and show pictures of her husband and babies that aren't going on the trip that she's got to get back to. She's got ties to the community and will come back, so they most likely let her go. If I go with her, that's a good thing, because I found out, I've been asking all the guys that I know that have taken their girlfriends or wives out of the country, and they say it's a good thing for her to go with you. And so the joint checking account, I thought, would add another layer to the proof that her and I are together. Let's see. Don't you can feel the first time I guess when I hate it when I have to live with it. Oh, the kids, yeah. Yeah, when I'm older, yeah, I do. If I need medical care, let me go back. I kind of answered that too quickly. If I needed medical care, if I had something that was inoperable or uncurable, I wouldn't go back to the U.S. I would stay here. I would die here. I would go back maybe and visit everybody, say goodbye, real goodbye. Hello to your wifey. That's awesome, Jim. That's good news. And I'm glad you said that for Chris, because sometimes it's in your darkest hours that the most light shines after. And there's a reason for these things happening. Sometimes we got to get low. Sometimes we need to go there. It's part of the process, right? I have noticed that when Dean, we're back on Dean. I noticed when Dean is talking, his eyes are rolling, he starts blinking there. He talks about on medicine prescribed by a doctor. I think he's just hyper. And I think he's hyper. I think he gets excited. I think that's more adrenaline than external forces at work. I'm a minimalist too. And so that was the one thing about this friggin' box is I says, oh boy, it's a good thing we got this storage room. But I kind of want to take my time and thin that out before I don't want to just have, tons of stuff laying around. But it's easy to give stuff away here, obviously. Depends on what it is. Monty, curtain number 2, what's the box? Oh, yeah, I kind of want to set it up so that it's fun. I want to have a fun time with it. I was going to say, oh, here I am. I'm going to open the box. And I got 4 boxes. Ooh, look, a lamp. Ooh, look this. Ooh, look that. I want to have some fun with it. So I wanted to have 3 or 4 of May's friends over because they act like it's Christmas. May was like breathing fast as she reached into the box and looked at stuff. She was like a 5-year-old kid Christmas. And I thought that would be awesome. And I'll tell each one of the girls they can keep whatever they want out of the box, one thing or whatever. We'll make it up as we go along. Yeah, they are, buddy. Hang in there. Hang in there. I'm a dad with challenged kids too. All right, guys, I am going to miss out as usual on some comments, but if I don't stop somewhere, I'll never stop. So I apologize if I have not gotten to you. And I want to thank everybody for joining me today. It was fun. I wanted to make sure that we got together and I kind of let you know that we're under quarantine again. And so I had some corrections on my last video, and I just want to let you know what was going on in the future. So once again, guys, thanks a bunch for joining me today. I will talk to you, and remember, try to be nice to one another.